I was just flipping around the channels on the AM band late at night. It's almost 8 o'clock at night, and it sounds like Max Headroom is back at it again all these years later. If you've ever found yourself in the market for a high-quality PCM stereo digital audio recorder, you'll presumably have learned that there are two far-ranging ends of the spectrum. There are those digital PCM audio recorders produced by the likes of Sony and Tascam, as well as the Zoom Corporation, that fetch a pretty penny and have audio quality and build quality to match. And then there are those on the very low end of the scale that are usually capable of recording little more than telephone-grade audio through a single monaural microphone and have little in the way of expandability, no XLR inputs, no line-level inputs, external memory card expansion. This audio recorder is the fruit of some late-night browsing and searching that should have been better spent sleeping, but I was looking for a low-cost alternative to the Zoom H1, their lowest cost audio recorder currently on the market, as well as an alternative to the Tascam DR-05 that's around $89 new. So this will no doubt be full of surprises. It's manufactured by a company I haven't ever heard of before. It offers stereo recording, A, B, and repeat, one button recording and delete functionality, which I would hope any digital audio recorder offers. High capacity lithium-ion battery and hold functionality to prevent unintended changes to its settings and operation. EVISTR, never heard of them before. Well, it didn't really surprise me that this offers recording capabilities by way of an external microphone, but being able to record telephone conversations certainly is no small feat and usually an overlooked capability on many of the higher-end audio recorders. Works as a USB flash drive. I think that's what they mean when they say drive-free USB flash disk. Built-in rechargeable lithium battery. Made in China by a company whose name I won't even attempt to pronounce on video. And it just slides out of this case. Okay, that's not going to work. Digital audio recorder does have a nice fit and finish, and it does have a metal exterior. Either that or it's a very high quality imitation of a metal exterior, and there are some accessories included, such as a pair of earbuds you do best just to throw away, it's one of those micro USB cables again, a small 1/8 inch 3.5mm cable, as well as a lavalier microphone with a clip. Included also is an adapter which will make short work of recording telephone conversations, presumably just by connecting an RJ11 modular telephone line cord and then running another cable to your telephone in question. There's also a ridiculously small telephone line cord included with this unit. I don't see how this would have any practical purpose being so small, but it is a nice gesture having that included in the box. And the manual, it's mostly understandable, and the staple which was used to secure this book is useless. It didn't even go through the whole book, so it's actually beginning to fall apart. See, there's some interesting portions of the manual that just leaves you scratching your head, wondering what it is they're trying to convey in writing. See, what is this supposed to mean? Host. Do they mean that the recorder is the host? I like this portion here that's discussing the various recording formats available to this device. MP3 format, and then it just changed font color for some reason. Recording file needs for small memory space, but the recording effect is not good, so it's suitable for long-time recording. And then for whatever reason they decided not to make this font the same as this one up here. It returns back to just black. Wave lossless recording format takes big memory space, and recording effect is good, so it's suitable for PCM high quality recordings. In order to get a better sound recording effect, we strongly recommend you using wave lossless recording format. I find it interesting that the manufacturer of this device, whoever they may actually be, if it is in fact a company calling themselves EVISTR, went to the trouble of putting a toxic and hazardous substance list in here, detailing the many substances you may find in here that are considered toxic and or hazardous. And O seems to indicate that the content is below the requirements set by some regulatory body, whoever that may actually be. I don't know. If it's the EPA, I doubt it. And then the X indicates that the substance exceeds the legal limits. And the only X I see here is for the shell and the structure. Well, that's a little concerning. My suspicions were not unfounded, as my research indicates that this is actually referring to hexavalent chromium. That's reason enough for me to be concerned about using this product on a daily basis. But putting that aside for now, I will continue the product review. But I wasn't expecting to find that mentioned so surreptitiously on one of the last pages of the manual. Turning this unit on for the first time, or any time for that matter, is accomplished by simply setting the switch labeled off on to its on position. And I don't know why it isn't turning on now. I have it turned on. Why isn't it turning on? That's odd. It does have an orange backlight, and upon first power up it will indicate no voice recordings present. Let's say we want to change our record settings. You actually use the fast forward and rewind buttons, and not what most people would probably assume, the A and B or the volume button. Let's say I want to configure something as per my liking in the record settings submenu. You press menu as the OK button, press it again to change the record quality, and then you are given indication of what it is currently set to by way of a small triangle. And anything it isn't currently set to is indicated by a square. So, for example, let's just say I want to change this to long time record mode. You need to press menu again, and then if we return to that again, you'll see it indicates as such. It was a little confusing getting the hang of how to set this unit and configure it until I learned that. So in this case, let's return this back to... Whoops, see, I'm pressing the wrong button there. It's a little confusing to navigate. PCM record, and then the return, you just press the stop button. And there are a number of other user configurable settings present here, as well as, let's just return the recorded settings for a brief minute. This is, they're calling it, I don't know, they must have ran out of space here, that or they misspelled it. It says subsection DN record. What they mean here, it'll record in user-definable presets and allotments of time, be it 1 hour, 2 hour, or a half hour. Close means off, and that's another thing that was very confusing about this unit. See, if I go to track on, it says close and open, and I didn't know what that meant until I read the manual. What they mean by open and close is on and off, respectively. I don't know why they didn't just write on, off, and they had to write open and close, but that's besides the point. Then there's the interesting setting to record from your microphone, telephone, or line in, and at first I was unaware of what exactly it meant when it said line in. I was under the impression that when you set it to line in, that was when you were recording using a microphone connected to its microphone jack, or that's actually on this side. And it's, as it turns out, after reading the manual once again, it's actually capable of recording a line level stereo signal through its multi-purpose input jack. And when you set it to microphone, it will record through the internal microphone if there's nothing connected to its microphone jack, but if and when you connect something to the microphone connection, it'll bypass the internal microphone. To begin recording, you simply press the record button once, unlike many of the Zoom branded recorders where it is required to press that button twice. We do have a fairly accurate level meter, a counter, and it's indicating what bit rate we're presently using for recording. To stop recording, you actually press the stop button, and if you'd like to pause it, just pressing the pause button will accomplish that. But you'd notice it doesn't actually take the command until the display is lit, which will, for most purposes, require you to press the button twice. It is now paused, and pressing the pause button will return it to record mode. And it is at this point that I will now present to you, the viewers at large, an audio test of the EVISTR Linearity PCM audio recorder, straight from China, no extra charge for the hexavalent chromium. Our test of this EVISTR L53 PCM audio recorder begins in a room which is very nearly dead silent. For some reason I'm noticing that on the view meter it's indicating that the left channel of audio is picking up something, some sort of audio that has around the negative 30 dB volume, where the right channel shows absolutely nothing. And I know that's untrue because there's nothing in the left channel, or nothing on the left of the recorder that would be producing any audible noise. So either it's picking up its own, the microphone's self-noise, which happens to be greater on the left microphone than the right microphone, or its view meters, its digital view meter is out of calibration or inaccurate. But I will speak into the right stereo microphone, and as I continue to rotate it now, I'll begin speaking into the left channel, and now the rear center, and the front center of the microphone. I can turn the gain up if I want to, but it's very easy to overdrive the internal microphones. So right now, as I'm speaking at this current volume, the peaks tend to ebb and flow around negative 3 decibels, which gives you just about another 3 dB of headroom before clipping, because of course, this being a digital recorder, there's no tolerance of overmodulation or anything exceeding 0 decibels. I will now conduct our customary audio test of recording audio through a stereo's speakers and see how it sounds when being played back. And of course now, as soon as I'm ready to record the audio, the song quiets down. And there is your music test. If you were planning on using this device to record audio live using its built-in microphones, well, there's a fairly accurate representation of how it would sound. Of course, this is recording stereo speakers and not a live performance, but you get the idea. So overall, not a bad recorder at all. The audio files produced with its internal microphones may surprise many, as they did me. And I suppose I can go to the trouble now of producing some sort of a typing sound test using a mechanical keyboard, of course. And now I believe, to round out the bevy of tests conducted with this recorder, I will connect it up to my telephone line, landline, and see if this will actually be able to record both ends of the conversation with any regard to its fidelity and intelligibility. Okay, well here we are. I've actually taken one and disconnected one of the central office lines running into this telephone system. And which one is it? This black wire is the one running in from the wall. And it turns out I actually connected it properly without even knowing it, because there is a certain procedure to be followed when connecting it. This is the line connection from the wall, and this goes to the telephone setter, in this case the phone system. And this is set to record. Of course it's not picking anything up but some interference on the line, but I will now run over to my desk phone and place a test call with it. I will now pretend to conduct a telephone conversation as I place a call to a time and temperature phone number.
Frontier Communications brings you the time and temperature. The time is 12:05 a.m. The current temperature is 33 degrees Fahrenheit. Thank you for calling.
And there you go. There's the test of the telephone recording capabilities of this voice recorder. So it can record telephone calls.
The current temperature is
I will now hang up.
degrees Fahrenheit.
And so concludes our testing of this EVISTR audio recorder, available for around $60 on Amazon.com and elsewhere brand new. Thank you for watching.